Beloved, I don't know who needs to hear this word right now, but God will allow you to go through Egypt to get you to the promised land. You didn't go through what you've been through for nothing. It is orchestrated and ordained by the Lord to get you to the promise. When Joseph got the vision from the Lord, or the dream from the Lord, that he was going to rule over his brothers and over nations, he didn't know how he was going to get there. He just believed in the dream that was given to him, right? He didn't know what was going to take place in between him ruling and the dream that the Lord just gave him. In his mind, he's thinking, I'm just going to jump right to ruling, probably, right? He didn't know that he was going to be betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, going through prison for several years, and also being forgotten in prison before getting to his promised land. Beloved, Genesis 45 talks about how Joseph finally revealed himself to his brothers. I'm going to go ahead and read some scripture to you. Genesis 5 verse 5. And now, do not be distressed and do not be angry with yourselves for selling me here, because it was to save lives that God sent me ahead of you. This is talking about how Joseph even prophesied to Pharaoh how there was going to be 7 years of famine after the 7 years of abundance, right, in the land of Egypt, and kind of in like the surrounding areas as well. So that's when Pharaoh appointed Joseph head over everything. So he's basically saying in the scripture, don't be mad for what you did to me, speaking to his brothers, because what you did was part of the calling that God had over my life. You guys didn't send me here, but God himself sent me ahead of you guys to save lives. That is purpose. It all came full circle to Joseph, right? I'm here for a reason. I went through this, glory be to God, for a reason. Who am I talking to right now? What you're going through right now, what you went through, beloved, it was for a reason. Don't hang on to the pitfalls. Don't hang on to prison. Come out of that prison mindset, beloved, because God did this for a purpose, for a reason. Genesis 45, verse 8. So then, it was not you who sent me here, but God. He made me father to Pharaoh, Lord of this entire household and ruler of all Egypt. Joseph went into slavery at the age of 17 after his brothers sold him, right? That's when he went into slavery. He didn't think in that moment, right? And we don't think in that moment that the Lord is setting us up for his glory. Who am I talking to? Beloved, I've come on here to tell you today that whatever it is that you went through, whatever pitfall, whatever prison you found yourself in, beloved, glory be to God, it was a setup for the promised land. Your situation right in this moment may not look like where God has called you or where he's promised to take you, but that's because it is a setup. It is a setup for the glory that he has upon you. Joseph knew that the favor of the Lord was following him. The favor of the Lord was upon him. Beloved, your Egypt is not your promise. Your wilderness is not your promise. But I've come on here to tell you today, this is the path and the avenue that the Lord is going to use to drive you into your promised land. Be encouraged today, beloved. Joseph was in prison for 3 years. He was in slavery for X amount of years. But God still delivered him into the promise as Joseph remained faithful. I've come on here to encourage you today, beloved. The wilderness, the Egypt that you're in, that's not the end of you. That's not the end. It's your setup for the promise that the Lord has for you. Stay the course. Keep trusting and keep believing, because it's coming. I love you all so much. I hope that you guys receive this word in gladness, okay? Take this word back to God. Get clarity. Give God his word back to him. Lord, how can I apply this to my life? How does this word apply to my life? What lessons can I learn from this? Sow a seed into this word. If you want to sow into this word through my channel, all the information will be down in the description section down below. I love you all so much. I miss you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. You have a very blessed day.